Imagine this is March 2000 and you have just received critical information that a highly wanted terrorist, Osama bin Laden, is hiding in a building. But he's got 40 other people with him. What are you going to do? You can press the button, you can kill this highly wanted terrorist, but you would also kill 40 innocent civilians with him. What would you do? Okay, you have two options. You either press the button and kill those 40 innocent civilians, or you say, well, I'm not going to kill anyone other than Osama bin Laden, so I will live to fight another day. And then nothing happens. He escapes and you never get any actionable intelligence after that. And then September 11 happens and 3,000 civilians die. How would you even answer that morally? Did you do the right thing back then? That you didn't kill those 40 civilians, but now because of your action or inaction, 3,000 civilians have died. How are you going to face the family members of the victims? Now, I'm not saying which answer is the right one, but I understand these are not easy questions and hence they don't have easy answers. But what I see is this total lack of empathy, total lack of appreciation of the difficulty of these choices, and total disregard and virtue signaling by bleeding heart leftists and Muslim population. These are the choices that Israelis have to make every single day. They just bombed a refugee camp. 45 people have died, but they're saying that we were chasing this Hamas commander who was directly responsible in 7th of October terrorist attacks. That's why we went after him. And now fresh reports are saying they've attacked the same refugee camp again. Now, I'm glad I don't have to make these decisions, but at least I can understand that these are not easy decisions to make. I can appreciate the difficulty. This is why I'm not 100% certain that Muslims are being honest in that. They don't care about that. The more civilians or Palestinians die, the better it is for Hamas and even Muslims in general. There's a lot of peer pressure amongst Muslims that, oh, look at this, look what's happening in Palestine, why are you not outraged? They're like, oh, okay, my fellow Muslims are being butchered by these evil Zionist Jews, I have to act outraged. And that's the outrage that we see on social media, totally devoid of context, totally devoid of understanding the complications that are involved in this, but it's just we're going to support our tribe. Now again, I am not undermining or denying the suffering that Palestinian people are going through. Nobody wants to see people suffering, limbs blown up, people dying. Nobody wants to see that. But who is responsible for this? Can you put all the blame on Israel? Everyone's telling Israel, this evil Zionist theocratic Jewish regime, to be a bigger person and ceasefire and stop killing Palestinian people. There's another way. Hamas, if you acknowledge Hamas is a terrorist organization and what they did on the 7th of October, if you genuinely believe in that, then you would be equally, if not more, outraged at Hamas and pressure Hamas to surrender and release the hostages. But there's no pressure. Nobody is saying anything. Why? Because Muslims believe that Hamas is doing the right thing. They're fighting the Zionists and the Jews, and they're waiting for that prophecy to be fulfilled when even stones will tell you that there's a Jew hiding behind me. Hey, Muslim, come and kill him.
He is doing. But there will come a time, ya Muslim. There will come a time. And we relate the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that the Muslims and the Jews, they will fight. And there is coming a time where there will be fighting. And he told us, alayhi salatu wassalam, that the inanimate objects will speak on those days. The inanimate object will speak. And this is not anti-Semitic, this is a part of our tradition. We simply relay the hadith. As for the Muslims at that time, the Prophet ﷺ told us that the trees and the stones will speak and say, "Oh Muslim, behind me there is a Yahudi, come and kill him." These times are coming. The way night follows day and day follows night, because the Prophet ﷺ, he told us that is going to be the case.
This is why they get excited every time. Every time Hamas attacks Israel, you don't see shock and horror by Muslims. You see them happy, rejoicing, celebrating those attacks, because they see that maybe today is the day when that prophecy will be fulfilled. That's the reason. Look at this Hamas leader. boastfully saying that what he did on the 7th of October, they will keep doing it over and over and over again, and he will keep sacrificing Palestinian people.
إسرائيل دولة لا مقام لها على أرضنا. إحنا الدولة لابد أن نزيلها، لأنه بالفعل هي تعتبر كارثة أمنية وعسكرية وسياسية للأمة العربية والإسلامية، يجب أن تنتهي. لذلك إحنا لا نخجل من نقول ذلك بكل قوة، إنه إسرائيل لازم نأدبها، وحنأدبها مرة ثانية وثالثة، ومش هذا حتكون طوفان الأقصى أول مرة، لا حتكون ثانية وثالثة ورابعة، لأنه إحنا لدينا إصرار ولدينا قرار ولدينا إمكانيات أن نقاتل نعم. ونحارب، لكن كما قلت لك بدنا ندفع ثمن. نعم إحنا مستعدين، معلش بدي أقول لك بشكل واضح، إحنا اسمنا شعب الشهداء.
They're using Palestinian people as cannon fodder and expecting Israel to take pity on them and don't go after Hamas, because if you go after Hamas, you're going to kill a lot of civilians. So Israel, you need to take pity. Now, Israel has a right to be selfish as well. They're like, well, you've killed 1,500 of our people. We don't want to kill civilians, but if you keep using them as human shields, they're going to die, unfortunately. That's Israel's position. And Hamas is okay with this. As I said, the more civilians die, the better it is for them. Look at Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas's comments on Hamas, on the wickedness of Hamas.
وعندما حصل العدوان قالوا في غزة وغيرها وفي الخارج لو ذهبت غزة ومحقت غزة لا يهمهم أن تمحق غزة، المهم أن تبقى حركة حماس موجودة. قالوا هذا، قاله هنية وقاله مشعل، لا يهمنا ماذا يحصل. ثم قال مشعل أكثر من هذا، إن الذي يجري في غزة شيء بسيط لا يؤثر علينا. ثم خرجوا ليقولوا الحركة بعافية وبخير، وهناك آلاف الشهداء من أبناء الشعب، آلاف الجرحى من أبناء الشعب، عشرات الألوف من البيوت المهدومة. إلى اليوم 100,000 فلسطيني في قطاع غزة يعيشون بالعراء لأنهم لا يجدون مسكنا لهم. لكن حركة حماس بخير. حركة حماس كانت تختبئ تحت الأقبية. قيادة حركة حماس، وأقولها للمرة الأولى، هربت إلى سيناء بسيارات الإسعاف وتركت شعبها يذبح، ثم يقولون نحن قاومنا.
So President Mahmoud Abbas himself is saying that they don't care about Palestinian people. And to make matters worse, when I look at it, even Muslims at large, they don't care about it. Egyptian Prime Minister just said that we are willing to sacrifice every Palestinian. In other words, they're saying, you stay there. You fight for that holy land, which is written in our fantasy books. You fight for that and sacrifice your lives. We will give you moral support from outside. We'll make noise. We'll tell other Muslims to make noise on social media and put pressure on Israel. And maybe we will succeed in pressuring Israel and will wipe Israel off the map. How is that not wicked? If you want to blame Israel for every Palestinian civilian that dies, why can you not equally blame Hamas? Unless you believe Hamas are freedom fighters and what they do is fair game. And guess what? This is the reason why a lot of these Palestinians, a lot of Muslims, they stutter when it comes to condemning Hamas. Because deep down inside, they celebrate them. And we've seen all these people celebrating the 7th of October terrorist attacks.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
I'm not claiming I have the answers. I am glad I would never have to make a decision that either you kill Osama bin Laden along with 40 other innocent civilians, or let him go and then find out that he's killed 3,000 people. I would never have to make this decision, and I'm telling you, I don't have the answer. We've been asking this question, what is the right response? What is proportionate and what is disproportionate? I don't have the answers to it, but I can tell you that the answer is not simple. But the Muslims would have us believe that the Israelis are evil, we're totally innocent, Hamas, we don't want to say anything about it, and that's it, ceasefire. No country does this. Israel killing Palestinian civilians is moral equivalent of the Allied forces killing Germans in World War II? Would these people have said, please don't bomb? Would you have seen Jews or gypsies or homosexuals for Nazis? But why are these liberals, seculars, Democrats, ex-Muslims, atheists, LGBTQ for Palestine? Do you not know what you're endorsing? You are basically saying, hurry up, create this theocratic Islamist state and kill people like me. Who in their right mind would do that? As far as I know, even Pakistani liberals and atheists, they did not support the Taliban. Why are they not consistent? Why did they not support the Taliban? Well, Taliban were also fighting the evil foreign invaders. Why did they not support them? Because they knew that if Taliban come to power, then LGBTQ, liberals, Democrats, secularists, atheists, women, they will all be subjugated. But what do they expect here? If you do a ceasefire now, if you don't eradicate Hamas, what's going to happen? You're going to create a beautiful, secular, rosy state? No, you're going to create a state where they're going to throw homosexuals off rooftops. They're going to kill atheists. They're going to subjugate women. Maybe not as much as the Taliban, but they have pretty strong views towards LGBTQ and atheists and secularists. It looks like this moral panic and this moral outrage and these liberals and seculars, they feel like they have to just say a fashionable statement that, oh, look, people are dying. Of course they're dying. What did you expect is going to happen? How can you say have ceasefire right after what they did against 1,500 Israeli civilians? No country would approve of that. Asking Israel for a ceasefire is akin to creating a theocratic Islamic state under Hamas, where women will be subjugated, LGBTQ, atheists, liberals, and seculars would be persecuted. Hamas needs to be eradicated. And yes, unfortunately, a lot of Palestinians are going through hell right now, but you can't put all the blame on Israel. If you'd like to support my work, you can become my patron by going to patreon.com/Harris Sultan, or you can simply buy me a coffee.